My Rideshare friends, how are you? Thank you for hanging in there. I just got back from the Los Angeles strike, and let me tell you something. They sent a powerful message today, extremely powerful message to Uber. The people were motivated. And the first thing that I did, I got there super early. I had contact with all the TV stations and the reporters, worked that crowd, did an interview with Reuters, did an interview with ABC, did an interview with CBS, did an interview with KTLA. And hey, Atlanta, Capricorn in the house, James Campbell, how are you guys? Thank you for waiting. I just got back right now. And I certainly worked the media crowd. There were a lot of people there that recognized me, which was great. So I leveraged that. And then they told the reporters to interview me on the matter. And for those people who don't know where I stand, who think I'm a box. Anyway, I just wanted to report that the strike was extremely successful, and it sent a very strong message to Uber. That's my take from this morning.
That's my take from this
and the one thing that I did is I worked all the media channels. So I went to ABC, I went to CBS, I introduced myself, so we get as much coverage as possible. And if Uber is watching these live streams, I've heard they've been blocked by Google. Obviously, Google is one of the investors of Uber, so they don't want this really to be found in the search engines, right? But they're obviously covering for Uber here because they've put a lot of money into Uber, Google. But we're live on YouTube. And let me tell you something. The people were passionate. The people were loud. They behaved extremely well. It was peaceful, great banners out there. And Uber needs to take this serious because they better nip it in the butt and address the respect that the drivers earn right away, address the earnings, address incentives, address everything right now. This is their golden chance before this spirals out of control. Listen, if this thing goes statewide, right, today was like an appetizer. But if they suddenly get the main meal and the dessert and this thing goes viral across the country, what's going to happen to that IPO? People are going to watch. I mean, thank you for every media station, including Telemundo. Everyone was there today, right? And the speakers were good, right? We were just broadcasting and showing what Savage Scientist, how are you, my friend? I'm Dallas, the pay is too low. Dallas lady. I'm just reading out some of the Janet, sweet Uber, got your back. Appreciate it. Thankful for everything you're doing. Listen, what we can do as YouTube influencers is show up, right, and broadcast and represent the people that have taken the time to drive down there and take the day off, right? They're not making money. They're doing this collectively for all of you. So it's more like a shout out to all of those individuals who showed up and did it today, right, and started a movement. It was extremely powerful. On the check that out. Check that guy out there. He was there with his Mohican. On the far, there's the guy from ABC I spoke to, and a lot of other reporters. And let me tell you, they gave us good airtime. I was extremely vocal. And for anyone that ever doubts where my position lies, you should have been there today, right? It was scoring a couple of home runs for the drivers, sending very powerful messages live at 11 a.m. This thing started at 11 a.m. I got there at about 10 a.m. I stayed there for a few hours. It's going to be on the news today. Got a really good international interview in there with Reuters and some of the international stations, the Spanish stations, our local stations, KTLA. And this is the momentum we're starting now. And my friends, I am not afraid to be deactivated. And in fact, if they were to deactivate me, I'd shout even louder. I'd shout from the treetops, the mountaintops. Nothing is going to stop the Rideshare Professor. Nothing. because this we don't deserve. We absolutely don't deserve. This is pathetic, and I hope it doesn't happen to anyone in the other cities. Suddenly overnight, bam, 25% pay cut, right there, right? And obviously they're doing this because they are desperately trying to show earnings. They're going to show the investors, they're going to show the bankers, hey, listen what we did for you guys in this last quarter. We came out strong, we cut the costs. Look at this. Before we were hemorrhaging money, now look how we're controlling the cost at the backs of the drivers, right? Did I get an interview, Rideshare Pro Thomas? Did I get an interview with Darren? No, I invite him, or I'll go up. You tell me when to be there. I'll fly up to San Francisco. I'll meet with you one-on-one. I'd love to speak to the guy, right? Because there's such a disconnect, right? They're sitting in their office. What I said to the reporters, and this really resonated, Dara, I'm going to switch shoes with you right now. I'm giving you a 25% pay cut and your executive salaries, not the drivers. We're going to take the 25% cut from the executives. The reporters were flabbergasted when I came up with that idea, right? And I said it directly into the camera, right? Imagine overnight they get an email, hey, Dara, your salary's been cut by 25%. Hey, CFO, your salary's been cut by 25%. Then only would they feel the pain that we are feeling, right? So yeah, and Los Angeles Unstoppable Baba says, still hoping Lyft takes the lead. Look, Lyft is smart. They always fly underneath the radar. They don't hang their dirty laundry out on the line, right? They fly stealth mode. In fact, what was interesting today, folks, is that at this strike, and a lot of people showed up, even some of the Lyft guys were there filming this, right? Learning from it. I even spoke to them because they were talking amongst each other, and the guy said, yeah, I make videos for corporate office in Lyft. And I said, oh, really? So why are you here? And I really confronted the guy and I said, why are you here? To hopefully learn from this day, right? So, let them take the info back to the Uber and Lyft quarters. Let them get into these channels, my friends, and they need to learn from this. They really need to learn from this. So, yeah, Ed, I appreciate it, buddy. But, I know my phone service stinks, but at least I'm showing up and doing my bit. I don't need any negative remarks right now, guys. Really, I've spent the entire day out there going batting for drivers. So if you want your negative messages, save them. Not quite enthusiastic about those. We made a ton of noise today, and we did well. We drove a hard message with a lot of people that were out there working in synchronicity. Okay, so Savage Scientist says Lyft is no better. Yeah, I mean they're not much better, right? But they are not playing yo-yo as much with the drivers as Uber is, right? So Karen Laporte says it's funny because here in Montreal, the strike is from taxi drivers, not Uber drivers, right? The taxi drivers will lose their taxi permit operations for the profit of RS cities. Look, there's many people affected by this. Rideshare drivers, taxi drivers, everyone is somehow going to show up. I'm sure rideshare taxi drivers are more unionized. We independent contractors, we don't have unions. We just have new bodies forming that are protecting us, right? And today, I got to say, the people that showed up and distributed signs made a great effort, right? You see some of the signs there, right? There's me, bottom left. These people showed up in all colors, my friends, and they did their bit for hours, and then it went over to LAX later. So Joel said, thank you. I say in return, thank you to you. Thank you for spreading these videos. Spread these videos, guys. You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Twitter, You hopefully have a YouTube channel. Spread the news, right? The media helped us big time today. They showed up. The LA Times, the newspapers. It's gonna hit all the print tomorrow, and it hit the airwaves and the TV stations tonight. So, loud message to North California, to San Francisco. Listen up. Hear these guys, feel their frustrations, hear their anger, right? So Martin Cunningham, hit them where it hurts them. I agree, right? But this is a collective effort, right? Today, a few hundred people showed up. A few thousand people in every city need to take action, right? Listen up. A few thousand people. If they manage to rally another city, whether it's Phoenix, Miami, pay attention. The media is going to alert you. This is when it's going to go down. Today was, the LA police. They're very respectful. They worked with us. They could see, they felt the pain of the drivers, and they were nice. Pizzas, companies started donating pizzas. Waters came, right? People care about this community. Why? Because we keep them safe. Philadelphia is with LA. YM. I love you guys. Thank you, Philadelphia. Right? But they can pay for water $3. Again, I am not sure where that came from. There was free water today. Nobody paid. All channels will be showing what they film at 5 p.m. Alex Salas. Thank you. People tune in. Right? I think I managed to get in front of a lot of cameras. I'm a very vocal guy. I'm very outspoken. I'm very black or white. There's no gray. You guys know me. Sometimes I'm cutthroat. I have no problems going to battle. Right? I have a very, very successful political father that advised for several presidents, for Gorbachev, for Reagan, for the German Chancellor Helmut Kohl. My father was very outspoken and told me always, freedom of speech. Speak up. Speak your mind. Do not shut up. Voice yourself. That's what we did today. Loud and clear. And you know what? If Uber doesn't like it, it's going to deactivate some of the guys. So shall it be. I'll tell you what. It'll even motivate us more. Dustin, my friend, thank you for tuning in. Dustin's in the house. There must be a strike on Uber Lyft at the same time, or it won't work. That's probably the best point here. It's starting to get organized, right? And then I think groups that are forming are learning from this, how to do it better, right? If you don't do it collectively at the same time, of course, it's not going to send the same message, right? But grassroots campaigning is how it starts, right? Today, LA was a powerful example, Dustin, that we can rally around, we can bring media. That's the one thing we did well, is made all the phone calls to the media, get them down there. The big, the small ones, everyone, right? There were a couple. I wish would have seen more YouTubers. I wish I would have seen Harry, the rideshare guy there. He wasn't there. Apptrepreneur showed up. Good for him. Dave, the Uber slave, showed up. And I was there for a few hours. So any comments here if you saw any of the other YouTubers? The bottom line is we're just a medium to transport this message to them, right? That's who we are. That's why we have subscribers. That's why you need to subscribe to these channels, so you can jump into these live feeds and express yourself and voice yourself. I'm very busy also running my other companies, running my limo fleet. I lease out a lot of cars, so I don't really go live very often. I wish I could do it more. I like the fact that people like Uber Girl Paula, Dustin, sharing happenings, right? And that's good, right? And I have a lot of people to take care of, right? A lot of drivers. So I wish I could. Can you tell us about the next one? Look, the next one's going to come. You're going to hear it through the social media. You're going to hear it through your local channels. The cool thing is that the media supported us on this one. They announced, hey, this is what's going to be taking place. And the more drivers were showing up. They were hearing it. It was being broadcasted. Guys were coming in, and the crowd grew larger and larger and larger. This is the beginning, right? This is the beginning to any person thinking of investing in stock, in Uber stock or Lyft stock, do not underestimate the drivers, right? You're looking too much at the company. You're looking too much at the amount of apps that are downloaded. You're not looking at the drivers. I tell you something, you guys saw what happened with the Boeing stock after the 737. Two of them went down. Okay, got broadcasted. People were vocal about it. People were scared. People were not getting on planes. That is how you get the message out, right? You take a position, you take a stand, right? And I'm not the person here calling for the strike. I'm a medium for the people who are striking to have their voice heard, right? I'm not the guy that goes out there and organizes the strike, but I say to the YouTubers, I will alert the media. I have a massive database of newspaper editors will shoot out a message and say, hey, this is worthy, right? It is worthy to show up. It is worthy to broadcast this. They need to strike for months, find part-time jobs and protest. To strike for months, then you might as well go and get another job. But to strike for a few days, you send a strong message. I know that there were, I took a swing by the LAX because that was the second part of the strike. There were not many cars around there, and I'm sure a lot of passengers were left stranded. So something worked there today, folks. Something worked. Dustin says you should go live more often. I would love to, my friend. If you're coming down to LA, I'm taking you out of Hollywood. I'm going to show you. We're going to have a good time. Go out on a boat. Go a little bit of off-roading. I want to show Dustin, California, how we do it down here, and I will do a live broadcast. Companies that know a way to build a base, right? But folks, if you are not out there as an organizer taking emails today, I didn't see anyone. I said to the organizers, take emails, right? You're not taking emails. Take photos, take names, follow up with the people, right? You come up there and you show up with a name today and you distribute flyers, you distribute posters, you distribute signboards, but you're not taking names, right? If you want to grow an organization, you have to have a database, and the database has to grow, and the database has to receive periodic emails so that they're in the picture. These organizers, they can also turn to us and say, hey, this is what's planned. Can you announce it? Yes, we will, right? Raptor T, SSSSS. You're very creative, buddy. You're a very creative guy with your S's. Thank you, Raptor man. Where did you hear from? Ed in Chicago. Janet says Lyft. Okay, what? As drivers need to unite and get more states to do it. It's going to happen, David Callan. It's going to happen. LA's strike will be shown on all news channels. It was showing here in Wisconsin. Love it. So we made waves. That's good. That's good. And listen, Uber, listen to those voices. Now's the time to nip this in the butt and stop this negative publicity wave, because it's not going to help your stock. So the sooner you wake up and smell the coffee and treat the drivers correctly and adjust your rates and don't cozy up too much to the passengers, the more successful your IPO is going to be. The more the public will want to invest in your stock. Staff, happy executives, happy drivers is amongst the drivers. So you don't have the full puzzle, you're not going to have the full IPO price, period. You need attendance sheets. I think what you mean is you got to take names when you're an organized database, right? Alex, at least Dustin can organize Lyft strikes without fear of deactivation. Yeah. You're right on that. It doesn't have to ex extension. Raptor T. Are you here to promote the hip hop movement or rideshare drivers? You're not being very creative there, Mr. Raptor T. But yeah, do I like extension? Yes, I do. I think he's great. So Uber bought Kareem Rideshare for 3.1 billion. Yeah, they need those drivers, right? They're losing a lot of drivers, so they have to acquire. They can't lose. And by the way, so Uber this week runs a special, $850 guaranteed for 75 trips. They timed it perfectly. They made all these crazy announcements, right, of cutting, slashing rates. And at the same time, they timed this perfectly. They're pushing out incentives because they know drivers are going to strike. They know drivers are going to take a position, be upset. So they immediately try and keep a lot of their workforce involved by pushing out these insane $850 incentives, right? So if that doesn't tell you how sly they are, and that doesn't tell you how they manipulate the situation, right? I don't know what else will, right? So this was very well thought through by Uber. But I tell you what Uber did not know is that this voice is louder, right? It's louder than the PR machine at Uber, because this is the grassroots work, my friends, super loud. Thanks to all you YouTubers for making the difference. Thanks to you guys for making the difference. Thank you for engaging in these chats. Thank you for leaving your messages there, because they read those messages, right? This is where you get a chance to speak your voice, freedom of speech. You can write what you want, right? Amy Montgomery, I think it's ironic Uber buys Kareem the same week they cut rates. So news diversion is a big one. Let's take away from the real issues. Let's put other big topics into the news. Hey, we just bought Kareem. Let the news and the media focus on those acquisitions, right? So it makes the IPO look more attractive. Oh, we just bought this company, we bought this company. But guess what? Along come a couple of thousand drivers that also invite the media, that invite all the YouTubers. And now we have opposing parties shouting at each other. And I'm telling you what, we made so much noise today. I am so proud of every driver that showed up today. I'm extremely proud of you. If you drove down there in the heat, switched off your app, and stood up for yourself, that, my friends, is more powerful than anything else. And there's many more of us versus the executive branch, right? So we're not here to start a war. We're really not. We're here to ask for better treatment. We're here to gain the respect, right? They need to respect us. They need to pay us. They need to understand we are families. They need to know that we're not a laundromat or a washing machines where the clothing can just be switched in, switched out, right? Put through the cleaner. No, we way more than that, right? We're humans. We have dignity. We have integrity. And we deserve so much more. My app was off in Wisconsin. Thank you for taking a position. They need drivers' inputs. Yes, they do, Fernando Garcia. They do need the drivers' inputs. And today the input was loud, right? You should have heard people speak up. We were there broadcasting it. 25% cut to execs. That's what I told the media today. I said, we are taking 25% out of every executive salary. How do you feel about that? We didn't ask you. We just took it away from you. How do you feel about that when we announced that in email? We took 25% cut out of your salary, Mr. CEO, Mr. CFO. How do you feel about that? Well, if it did happen, you'd feel exactly the same we did. Disgusted, upset, angry, frustrated. That's why we're out there. That's why all these people holding these banners, right? Check that guy out, right? That guy showing up. Just read it. They're expressing themselves. Freedom of speech. Beautiful. In Rhode Island, well, way less Uber drivers. Well, maybe they are migrating over to Lyft. This moment, I got my kids to pick up. I got basketball games to attend. I got to get my car. So sorry, my son just called me. So my family always comes first. And circulate the videos. Shout out, right? Shout out, shout out, shout out. Share videos. Go to all of these YouTubers, all of these people that showed up today. Leave a message so that Uber reads it, right? Watch the news. Start your channel. Okay. It has to be a collective movement. There cannot only be a group of people, right? It has to be a collective effort to make this happen. And we will make it happen. And I will help make it happen. And the next one that's organized, again, we're going to greet with the media and the newspapers and the editors and the journalists and the reporters and we're going to share super loud and clear. My friends, I got to cut this thing short. Love guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for subscribing. My next videos will be coming soon. And I am going to take a little bit of time out and go off-roading. Just got myself 2 new Baja bugs. Beautiful. I wish you a fantastic day. Thank you, and thank you. And Baba, thanks, bro. Thank you, bro. James Campbell, love you for always being there. My formula that worked today is that we were loud and proud, and we spoke out in our voice.